What's up, you guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Ask Alex Show, episode 105. We've had a great break in between that time, just changing some things around and doing a lot of fun stuff with our channels. But I couldn't do this show. I couldn't come back and do the show without my co-host, Mr. Jeremy from Movies Are Terrible, and the Jive Turkey himself, Mr. Ian Elliott Carter. How are you guys doing today?
What's
I'm good, man. I'm good.
what up?
Pleasure to have me here.
It is a pleasure. We're just living in Jeremy's world, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
We just live here.
We are living in Jeremy's world. But thank you guys again for watching this show. We're gonna have a very fun show for you guys today. If this is your very first time ever watching this show, and you want your question or topic, just send me an email at theaskalexshow@gmail.com. That's theaskalexshow@gmail.com. And guys, we are also on Patreon as well. So go to patreon.com/momentum media. We have 3 tiers on there. I actually have 1 Patreon supporter. I've never had that in the whole time that I've been
Brad
doing
we
this.
said, what's up?
I finally got 1 Patreon supporter. Thank you, Mr. Brad, for supporting the channel.
That's a real ass dude, though. He definitely comes through. All him and King of the Hill. I love him.
For sure.
You guys, you Squad, Abyss, all of you guys are just freaking amazing. So thank you for supporting the channel. But if you want to be a Patreon supporter, you can go to patreon.com/momentum media. Again, there's 3 tiers. There are incentives for you guys to see a lot of my content early. Plus, I'm starting an audio podcast of these shows exclusively for Patreon, just for Patreon. So if you're a Patreon supporter and you can't watch the videos or the clips, you can definitely listen to the audio versions of this show. So now that we've gotten that out the way, let's go ahead and jump into the first topic of the day. And the first topic of the day is actually going to be one of my favorite topics. So this topic comes from a reoccurring guest, Miss Iris Peoples.
Iris Peoples.
Nice seeing you. Nice hearing from you again. But she writes, "Hey guys, so the early reviews are in for F9, and a lot of people don't like it because of how ridiculous the stunts are, and because it doesn't seem real. Have you guys seen the movie, and what are your thoughts about this?"
Sorry, I gotta put that on mute. Fast and Furious does not seem real. Goodness gracious! Well, I can't wait to talk about this.
Well, thank you for your question, Iris. Okay, so full disclosure, I have not seen the movie. Ian, have you seen the movie? Because I know you've seen. Jeremy, have you seen the movie?
Nope.
I know that like some of us can have early access to movies through people that we know. I have not seen the movie. One of my friends who owns a theater down the road, he invited me to go see the film. I didn't go because I wanted to. Really because of time, but I wanted to see it in the theater amongst other people. But here's the thing about the criticisms about F9, and I kind of, this may seem contradictory for me about things that I've said about other films, but just follow me here. There's nothing realistic about the Fast and Furious franchise after the first movie, in my opinion, because the first movie was strictly about street racing. The second movie and the third movie were strictly about street racing. But the difference is in the second movie, just to break down why I feel like these criticisms are kind of skewed and I feel like they're reaching a little bit for reasons why they don't like the movie. In the second movie, just taking it all the way back to the second movie, Brian wins a race by jumping off a huge ramp. And the same cars jump off the same ramp too, but they into some form of accidents. Brian his car is completely fine.
Yeah,
and
man.
In that same movie, they're racing, they're driving in Miami, him and Tyrese, and the whole Miami PD are after them. And the Miami PD shoot a little thing to disable a car. Brian takes it off and throws it at a cop car. And the cop car instantly goes down, but Brian's car doesn't go down.
I can't lie though, that scramble scene was awesome.
That was a really cool scene, but we both know in real life that would not
no.
It wouldn't work. Let's take it to Fast Five. Fast Five, they're driving.
My favorite, by the way, Fast Five.
And that's my favorite one. I feel like Fast Five is the Avengers of the franchise. You have 2 cars dragging in the middle of Cuba, a safe. Now, and what's so unrealistic about it is that through the third half of the movie, there's a Brian leaves the safe, and Vin Diesel is driving with the safe, using it as a weapon. The question I keep popping up when I watch that movie: why do you need two cars if you only needed one? I just that so I don't get so the point I'm making with these movies, there is no reality with these movies. There isn't. Now I have not seen Fast Nine, so I can't criticize it. I can't really review it because I have not seen it. But I think to say you don't like the movie because of how unrealistic they are. I mean, in Fast Eight, they were running away from a nuclear missile on ice. Like, and Hobbs and Shaw, Idris Elba even says I'm Black Superman. He was a black cyborg. Like, there is no reality. So my thing is that if that's the reason why you don't like the movie, even though this franchise has shown you time and time again, this is not reality. I feel like that's a little bit of a reach. Now, again, if this is a terrible story, I will come on camera and say it's a bad story with insane action. I've also said on camera, I didn't like Kong versus Godzilla because it was terrible story, but I did like the fights. Didn't like Mortal Kombat. I like the fights, but the story is trash. If that's the case for Fast Nine, then I can understand the criticism. But a lot of people that I'm hearing from are saying they don't like the movie because it's so insane in the stunts. Let me take you guys back to Fast Seven. Dom steps on the street in the street cracks and everything starts to fall down. Like, this is insane in itself. So my thing is that if that's the reason why, I feel like that's a reach. Now, Ian, I know you've been critical, or not critical, but you've given your opinions about the Fast and Furious franchise. You haven't seen the movie, but do you understand the criticisms that are coming for Fast Nine? And do you think they are valid criticisms given that the Fast and Furious franchise is based in not reality?
No, yeah, you're 100% right. Like this, I would argue that yeah, after Fast Five, which was my favorite, it became sci-fi after that.
Exactly.
You're so yeah, you're right. Like each movie came unrealistic, but it did start with just street racing. So I don't know how we got here, but money. I guess money talks. Like I said, I've not seen it. I have been hearing the same reviews though about how it's unrealistic and the story's ridiculous. Now, even some of the people that have loved this franchise with the ridiculousness are kind of saying that this is way over the top, even for this story. So, again, I'm not seeing it to make that judgment. But no, I'm not looking forward to seeing it. I'm kind of over Fast and Furious. Tell you the truth, I know they're gonna keep doing it. Just as long as people keep coming, they're gonna keep making it. But yeah, I would just say see the movie to make your own decision. That's what any movie, we review movies on this channel, on Alex's channel, on Jeremy's channel. But at the end of the day, these are our opinions. Like this guy over here like power, and I like the old guard. We have different opinions. So at the end of the day, it's you might have a different. This might be the best movie you've ever seen. I doubt it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and he's right. And listen, I understand that these are people's opinions. You can't really fault anyone for their opinions. This could be the worst in the franchise. Again, I have not seen it. But I feel like when you're going into a movie, especially in like for instance, I don't expect any Avenger Marvel movie to be based in reality because it's based off superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect that. I didn't expect that with Mortal Kombat either, but we got what we got. But Jeremy,
well,
what do you think
my
about
favorite? Hold on, I wanted to say
ahead.
my favorite scene from the Fast and Furious movies, though the most ridiculous scene was probably from Fast Seven. Not even them just jumping from building to building, but like when he rolled down that hill and then got up and went, "Ugh, family," and he was back to normal. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, and then Letty just speaks to Dom's heart, and he comes back alive. Like what?
Yeah.
Like is she the witch in Wonder Woman 84 with the stone and shit? Like I don't like
Gotta
who
be.
knows, but Jeremy, what do you think about these films, and do you think that the criticism of why these films are not, or this particular film is not so great, is valid?
Did you guys know that there are robots and aliens in Army of the Dead?
Yes.
It's
I
pretty
did.
weird, right?
I did.
Wait, that's
Thanks
a
for
trash
reminding me. I
movie.
was trying to forget that shit.
It's pretty wild. pretty wild stuff. I don't know why I even brought that up, other than just how far out some movies are, as far as just like you have to suspend your disbelief for this one thing, and then they just keep on throwing in more and more elements until you get to space, right? Like
Mhm.
that's what the ultimate thing about F9 is. But I'm looking at the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and it's got a 62. So that's not
That's
terrible.
okay. Yeah, that's okay
It's
for that
Okay.
series.
is about where that's an optimistic side of where it should be because for just to kind of keep it consistent, my favorite is Fast 7. To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you what happened in it at this point. It's been like 2 or 3 years since I seen it. I remember having a good time when I watched it. And I definitely remember the concrete caving fight scene between Vin Diesel and The Rock. Like, how
Just
could
him
you
stepping on the concrete.
how could you forget that?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I've never really been super invested in the franchise. I hear that this F9 really leans heavily onto the nostalgia for the franchise, in which I have none. And I just don't know if this is one of those kind of series where you get that goodwill off of previous movies when each of them is kind of like, to me, it's all memorable as a whole, but I couldn't tell you which of the movies, which of the things happened in anymore. But I know I watched them slightly different than other people. But as I'm scrolling through some of the negative reviews, I've got one from Forbes magazine, Scott Mendelson, and he says, and this is a negative: spectacular action and solid cast chemistry gets sabotaged by a script that seems to have ignored the lessons of Spectre, Scream 3, and Rise of the Skywalker. So even that negative one is kind of saying that, you know, it plays to its strengths. Somebody, John Newen from Nerd Reactor, said this is a movie where people will say turn your brain off.
Well, yeah, you got to turn your brain off in
You
all
have
of them.
to.
Yeah. So I imagine it'll be more of the same. And with that, like you guys both said, this has never been a franchise that's grounded in reality. So like
Exactly.
after you go to space, though, next logical step, you either have to go to heaven or go to hell, or maybe half of the family goes to hell and the other half goes to heaven, and they have to pull a heist to break the rest of their friends out of hell.
I was gonna say multiverse, but you nailed it with heaven or hell. They have to race the devil and Jesus. There has to be a race for real.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, we're gonna go there, Alex. But Jeremy, atheist over here, he's not gonna make it.
Listen,
No, I'm good.
I'm not even y'all. All of you people in Jeremy and Ian's comment section about that passion video. Don't come over here with that bullshit. Please do not.
No, you deserve it,
'Cause
Alex. You
will
deserve
get
it. You gotta
blocked.
join the club.
But listen, you know what? To Jeremy's point, I kind of agree with him, and I think I said this before. I asked Alex, them going to space. I do feel like they're running out of ideas, and apparently, it's alluded to in the movie that they go to space in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, if you go to space in this movie, what is episode 10 of Fast 9 going to look like? Like I don't get, like, where do you go? Like I don't understand the logic of cars going to space. Like, is Dom's brother that big of a threat that you have to go to space to fight him? I don't.
He is a big
I don't
threat.
get
He is a big threat. You can't see him.
it. But what do you guys think in the comic section? Have you guys seen the movie? Do you guys like the Fast and Furious franchise? Do you think that they're just too insane? And do you think that these people are reaching in terms of talking about this franchise? Just jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And we have another question from one of my co-workers, Mr. Keith Beers.
Keith
He
Beers.
writes, woo!
Hey,
Right.
beers. Let me get one.
Hey guys, is Discovery buying is Discovery buying Warner Brothers a good thing? If so, do you think WB would be what would WB look like in the future? Well, thank
Hey, I
you.
want to throw in a question with that. Did you guys see about the MGM and Amazon deal too today?
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah,
Just
that happened.
throw that in there
today.
too, man.
Yeah,
Do it.
that happened today.
Mhm.
Actually, I was just about to say that prior to that deal today, it was announced that Amazon had bought MGM. And I well, just to answer Ian's question right off the bat, I think that them buying MGM is establishing more of a Amazon's brand to make more great films. Because if you watch their Prime stuff, whether it's TV shows or movies, a lot of their stuff is pretty good. I didn't like Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan. It's okay, but it's not a film that I would pay to go see in the theater. But I thought it was okay for what it was. But I love their Jack Ryan series. It's 2 seasons. Oh my God. Like, if you like the Bourne franchise and if you like spy movie franchises, I would recommend you guys watching that. But them buying MGM is crazy. And I do think it's a good move. Now with Discovery buying Warner Brothers, honestly, I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest with you. The only reason why I say that's because the only thing from Discovery I watch is the History Channel. And I love the History Channel. Like I don't have cable, but I watch Hulu and I have the Hulu History extension. I love the History Channel from
All
things
right.
like Forge in the Fire, Pawn Stars, Vikings, so many cool historic moments. I love that type of stuff. But Discovery has been proven to be a successful network from the Food Network, from HGTV, and from a lot of their different properties. Now, I heard people say that Discovery allows their creators to create. That's why they're so successful. You could say the same thing about, with Marvel. They allow, or Disney, they allow their creators to create. With Warner Brothers, now that there's a sea change, um, I mean, with their recent move of turning these movies into HBO Max releases, I'm sure Discovery will not go in that direction. But I'm just wondering how far would they allow their creators to create? My only issue is that I hope that their movies don't become stagnant. Because if you watch Warner Brother movies, I'm not talking about DC movies, I'm talking about Warner Brothers in general. That's a Oscar winning studio. Like, majority of their movies are nominated and won Oscars, aside from the DCEU. A lot of people keep talking about the DC. What's going to happen to Kevin Sujihara? What's going to happen to the Snyder Cut and all this other bull? I think the DCEU is probably going to remain the same, to be honest with you. They may change it. I don't know. I think it will look different to a degree. But as far as Warner Brothers, I think their content will definitely be different. I just don't know if that's a good move. But I know we were talking about it briefly in the group chat. Jeremy, you heard about this move. What do you think about Amazon buying MGM? And what do you think about Discovery buying Warner Brothers?
Did you guys know that in Army of the Dead, when they make it to the vault at the end, and there's that dead crew of people that are previously done it, they find a second copy
Shout
of
out
the
to
map.
Zack Snyder, by the way.
People are saying, hey.
Jeremy, I've been trying to forget this movie. You won't let me do it. God dang.
By the way,
People
this
are saying
episode
it's
is
possible
sponsored
that
by
this
Army of the Dead.
that this team is in an infinite time loop where they're just forced to live out the same reality over and over again. And actually, Zeus, the main zombie, the clearly very white zombie, could possibly be Vandero. You guys heard that theory?
No.
All right, cool. I hate talking about the business stuff because I am so out of my depth with how all of this stuff really, really works. Alex makes a bunch of good points, and when it comes to these conglomerate corporations, these multi-billion-dollar corporations, like the decision for all of these entities kind of operate independently of each other. However, there is overlap. So I kind of agree with Alex that like it might not necessarily affect in the HBO Max in the actual entertainment side, the Warner Brothers side of it. It might not actually affect what's happening in the studio, right? Unless they decide that at the top level they're going to replace one of the people that are making the big decisions. But I am so just out of my depth as far as talking about any of this stuff intelligibly. However, I will say that typically speaking, corporations vying for power and continuing to consolidate isn't a great thing. And it was in like 1990, I don't know, we'll say 1995, where there was a court case that was one that caused AT&T to have to like split up a bunch of their assets so that they weren't a monopoly anymore. And then if you kind of follow the trails and then you look at where we're currently at, and AT&T has kind of come around the horn, reacquired all of those things, and then ended up as this big head to the Hydra again. So, money just makes money. And I am so much more interested in the process of filmmaking than I am aware of like, corporate intrigue,
Yeah, and I agree. I'm as someone as a movie buff, I'm not always into the corporate type of stuff. Like I don't have an Alex Hampton classroom, so I don't.
Right, same.
I can't. I really cannot articulate and break this down. All I can say is give you a general point of view. Aside from the History Channel, I don't really watch Discovery. I obviously they're successful, but I don't know if Discovery buying Warner Brothers is a better move. Now, I will say it's probably a better move in comparison to AT&T buying Warner Brothers because we've seen what that looks like
Yeah,
with a lot of their films.
that makes
And
sense.
and AT&T, as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe they've ever created any content aside from commercials. So, with that being said, like I think that in that sense, it's a good move. But to be honest with you, I hope it is. I hope it's a good direction. But Ian, you saw this news. Do you think that Discovery buying Warner Brothers would be a positive move in the right direction for Warner Brothers as a whole?
I think it's a better move. I don't know if it's the best move, but like you said about AT&T, they're not the buy of Warner Brothers and HBO Max and all that stuff was very confusing at the time. I'm still
Right.
confused about it. But now, yeah, I do think regardless of what you feel about Discovery, like I have no opinion about it because I don't watch it, but like they do content, they do, um, entertainment. So it makes a little bit more sense. I love HBO Max. It's probably my favorite streaming service at the
Same.
moment. And Amazon Prime actually is my second favorite. Um, they both, in my opinion, have passed Disney Plus and Netflix at the moment. My mind always changes, just like my top five of my hip hop artists. But right now, I just been on those two streaming platforms. They have some great stuff. Check it. Amazon Prime is very underrated with their content, by the way.
Yes,
Please
it
check it
is.
out. I would
Yes, it
definitely
is.
recommend a lot of stuff. Like I've been like binge watching a lot of Amazon Prime lately. But back to the initial question for both of these, like these top buys. Um, I love this buy from Amazon Prime because MGM lately they've only just been doing James Bond movies. Like it really
Mm,
just seems like they're doing the Fast and Furious, Marvel, whatever, like the studio thing of just redoing the same thing over and over and over again with it. So, but they have so much. They have a lot of years of content that they can work with.
Mhm.
So, yes, we might see some more remakes and reboots, but at the same time, these are some that are like probably from the 50s and 60s and shit. So like, it's been a while. It's not like it happened 10 years ago. And again, I'm rooting for HBO Max. I'm rooting for Warner Brothers with hopefully they can get things back on the right track because been a lot of shitty business deals lately. And I'm like you guys, I don't know exactly all the details, so I can't speak on all of them. It just seems like a lot of these deals have not been the best, and it's been showing, especially putting the movies out at the same time on the platform. I
Yeah.
just was never for that. I thought that was a stupid decision, and I'm hearing that's one reason AT&T was like, all right, this ain't for us. That's why they sold. But yeah, I'm always rooting for something that I'm paying for, and I'm paying for HBO Max and I'm paying for Amazon Prime. So y'all better get together.
Yeah, yeah, and that is actually a good point. I'm definitely rooting for things that I'm paying for. I mean, I think Disney Plus had a lot of struggling moments, but this year they've been on a successful wave. I as many times as I wanted to cancel Disney Plus, I'm glad I did not because I wouldn't be able to see season 2 of Mandalorian and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision and then literally within like 2 weeks Loki. So I get it. Even with HBO Max, there are a lot of great things on HBO Max that you can catch up on, and a lot of new things that they're adding too. Recently started watching Sopranos. Damn, that is a really good show. I never heard about it. I was like, wow, it's really good show on HBO Max. But I don't know if this is a good move by Warner Brothers. I hope it's definitely a better move in comparison to AT&T. But what do you guys think? What do you guys expect from Warner Brothers after now they're being bought by Discovery? And also, what do you guys think about Amazon buying MGM? Do you want to see their content expand in terms of getting more movie-like content on their platform? Just jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And now let's go ahead and jump into the last and final question today. And the last final question comes from Mr. Allen. I don't is your last name Bradley or Barkley? I think I'm pronouncing that right. I think Alan Barkley. And
Alan Barkley, Bradley, possibly. Woo!
possibly, who knows?
Alex
But
getting old. Get your eyes checked, partner.
well, Mr. Allen writes, "Hey guys, after watching the minor slate of the 2021 films, at this point, what are your top 3 to 5 movies that you're anticipating for the rest of 2021?" Well, thank you for your question, Alan. To be honest with you guys, I know like I think last year when right around I think when Wonder Woman came out, we had said I think my top 3 was Fast 9, Eternals, and I want to say another Warner Brothers movie that I can't remember. After seeing I've only seen like Kong versus Godzilla, Mortal Kombat, that Jason Statham movie, really movies that I wasn't really anticipating for, except for maybe Mortal Kombat. If I had to say now, like right now in 2021, I am looking forward to still going to go see Fast Nine because I think that it's going to be ridiculous and I want to see how far they take it. I am. I'm really anticipating to see Eternals because it is definitely different than the MCU. By the way, and we've had a somewhat conversation about it in our group chat. I think the Eternals trailer is a good teaser. It didn't really show us anything.
Yeah,
To be honest with you, it didn't really show us anything. But I do agree with the criticism. That tagline at the end, where they're like, "Oh well, Steve Rogers is gone and Iron Man's gone. Who's going to lead the Avengers? Oh, I should lead the Avengers." I thought that was kind of cheesy in a sense. Like, who cares at this point? That's just me, but I'm still interested because the cinematography and the world building look freaking amazing. So I can't wait to see where they're going to take it. And then my third one would have to be Black Widow. I recently saw like a clip of Black Widow where she's in a car with her sister driving around, I believe, Sokovia. It looked really cool, so I really want to see that. Um, those would probably have to be. Oh, and also the Uncharted movie. There was a screenshot of Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg walking around in a tomb. It made me want to play the game again. So those would be probably my top four anticipated movies. I'm not really. I mean, I'm anticipated to see Far From Home, but I can wait on that and watch this stuff first. But Ian, what are your anticipated movies for the remaining of 2021?
There's been a lot of good stuff that came out this year. I feel like a lot of these movies been overshadowed by Marvel, Fast Furious, everything that's commercial.
Right.
So I challenge you. I challenge both of y'all. I challenge your listeners. Try
Don't
something
you challenge
else.
me, dude?
I challenge you to a game of basketball. Space Jam, motherfucker.
Oh
Nah.
shit.
No, I challenge a lot of like our listeners on every channel to just watch something that's not crazy commercial, like that does not have Disney attached to it, Marvel, Star Wars, whatever. I challenge you guys to support indie directors, support some of the lower budget movies because in my opinion, those have been some of the best movies that's come out this year, not the big blockbusters. I've been very disappointed with a lot of these blockbusters, but I pulled up a page of things I am interested in, and some of them are blockbusters. Spoiler alert: Eternals is not one of them, because I was not a big fan of that teaser. Now, I'm cool with being proven wrong. If that movie is great, then hell yeah, I'm gonna pay a ticket for it. I want it to be great. But of course, Spider-Man: Far From Home. I do want to see the Suicide Squad movie. Shang-Chi looks great. Let's see. Candyman, Dune, Quiet Place 2. What else we got here? Last Night in Soho, which was a trailer I just watched yesterday with Edgar Wright is directing it. Looks really, really good. Looks like a sci-fi thriller or horror movie. Let's see here. There's a lot of hype about the In the Heights, which is going to be a Amazon Prime musical movie that looks really good. But yeah, though I think those are the ones that come up to mind. I wish I had more time to look. If you asked me a question earlier, I would have had the list. But there's a lot of good movies that I feel like are coming out that are not with the logo Marvel or Disney or Warner Brothers. So that's my challenge to all of our listeners, man. Like, give the little guy a little bit more of a shot.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. There have been some. There's I can't remember the movies right off the bat, but there's some movies that came out on Netflix that I like. That Anthony Mackie movie where he's like half of a cyborg. It's a cheesy movie, but I thought it was pretty cool.
I didn't like that one, but there is another one on Netflix with Anthony Mackie where he takes a pill and he can go time travel. And I forgot what that movie's called.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah,
really,
I like that
really,
one
really
too.
good. Yeah.
So there have been some good indie projects that have come out either on streaming or in the theaters that I like. But there is one movie that I didn't say that I'm anticipating for, but I thought the trailer was trash. I'm anticipating the Snake Eyes movie, but I think the trailer is trash though.
I disagree, Alex. I
I
thought it
think
looked all right.
the trailer is trash. Like it's the origin of Snake Eyes fighting ninjas. We already
Yeah.
know. We already know that. We didn't need to see that. In my
Did
opinion.
you want him? Did you want him in the kitchen cooking food? What do you expect him to be doing?
I mean, I expect him to fight.
Why is this ninja doing kung fu? I don't get it.
I expected that, but what I'm saying is that what is that anything that we haven't already seen from the character? It isn't.
I have never seen the character. I swear to God, that's the crazy thing about me, though. Ian, did you think it looked good?
I think it looks straight. I mean, it's not one of my most anticipated movies, but I'm confused on what Alex watched Snake Eyes be doing.
Not like, for instance, for instance, and just to give like a sidebar real quick, in the G.I. Joe movies, Snake Eyes took a sacred oath to not speak. Okay, cool. And also in the movies, it alluded to that Snake Eyes had a very convoluted, complex past. As a movie fan, yes, I understand that there are going to be high action pieces. In that trailer, that's all they showed. I don't understand. In that trailer, what the problem I had is that why is he doing what he is doing? How did he get to that point? And mind you, that teaser trailer was only 30 seconds. So
yeah, you wanted the whole movie in 30 seconds. I get it.
Nah,
I understand why you didn't like it.
The Eternals established why they were there.
The Eternals didn't establish shit. I didn't understand nothing in that commercial. I'm just gonna keep it real.
The Eternals established why they were there. They've allowed all this shit to happen, and they're not going to intervene now. And Snake Eyes, oh, I'm fighting some guy off a fucking car. Like, who cares? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't understand why you're fighting. That's the point I'm making. Like, I'm not saying that I should get an understanding, but I'm saying, like, what is the deeper meaning behind your origin versus you fighting people? That's my thing. As a teacher,
I get it. This is what the podcast needed. I swear, dude.
Yes. We got to push each other to understand our ideas. I understand a little bit what you're saying, because there was actually a commercial I watched a trailer the other day that Toddy and I watched. We watched 2 trailers. One of them, I was like, they didn't show us shit. I didn't understand what the fuck this movie was about. I don't remember what it was. But then I saw the Edgar Wright one I was just talking about, and it didn't show us nothing, but I was still intrigued. So I guess it's the way they put it out there, I guess, is what you're saying. I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. And in that sense, if I got that jumbled up, that's what I was getting at. I was trying to articulate.
It's all good. I was just messing with you.
Yeah, it was so funny.
But Jeremy, what are your anticipated movies of the rest of 2021?
So the movie that I was anticipating the most had a subplot in it that I found really interesting. And Zack Snyder actually expanded on it and said there's an extra dimension, because a lot of people were wondering, why did he kidnap the lady and her 2 daughters instead of just eating them? Because he eats the rest of the daughters. But
you know what? I'm going to cut all these clips up, and we're just going to have a collage of Jeremy talking about Army of the Dead. And I'm going to post it as Jeremy's review of Army.
So there's an extra dimension to this zombie film, because I'm still wondering if I should tell this. The male zombies rape human females, yes. And they have human hybrid zombie offsprings. It's a new take on the zombie genre, which is crazy. So
one missed opportunity in this movie, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's like when they said, please. Hey, the zombies, when they get wet, they come alive. Never showed it. Maybe what was the point of even that scene?
Yeah, that's a good point, dude. I was excited about that. I was like, oh, that is gonna look crazy.
That was been badass, but he's like, hey, this is some cool shit that could happen. It's never gonna happen.
So yeah, dude, I agree with a lot of what both of you guys said about just kind of, obviously I'm excited about the blockbusters. And I think the reason why is because they get marketing so much earlier than the rest of the movies. Like typically the movies that I end up liking the most are the ones that I expected the least from, because I didn't know anything about them going into it. But there are a couple this year that are recognizable names that I'm looking forward to. Halloween Kills. I liked the 2018 version. I'd like to see kind of where this trilogy goes. In the Heights and West Side Story are 2 movies that I'm interested in, because I really do like musicals. I liked Hamilton musically. I think I'll like both of these just a little bit more, simply because they're more traditional movies as opposed to just filming a stage performance. But I think because Lin-Manuel Miranda did the music in the Heights, and if I'm not mistaken, Spielberg's directing West Side Story, so these could both be good. A Quiet Place too, this is one I've been looking forward to for a long time. And then The Green Knight. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about The Green Knight, but it's like a upcoming A24 film, and it's directed by David Lowery. And it is I guess it's a Russian film, but it's a King Arthur take, and it's going to be extremely what's the word I'm looking for? Like an A24 movie, I guess, slow and meditative and psychological. And I think that one will be cool. And then the one I'm the most excited for, and probably the most recognizable on the list, is going to be Dune. Dune is done by who's essentially my favorite film. It kind of varies, but I really like Denis Villeneuve. I think his Blade Runner 2049 was fantastic. Can't wait to see his take on this, and hopefully it does well, because this is another movie that had like a $200 million budget, and if it bombs horribly the same way that the very expensive Blade Runner did, then it might not be great for him getting these really big budget properties. But there's some good shit coming out this year. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for Dune too. I will say this: if it's coming out on HBO Max, that's the first and last movie we'll see from Dune. I'm beyond, and I wanted to go see. I'm still gonna go see it in the theaters now that I'm vaccinated. But
Yes.
I'm just if it comes out on HBO Max, that movie. I really wanted to see the franchise because I know nothing about Dune. I know nothing about it at all. But aesthetically, it looks so cool. But if it comes out on HBO Max, I hate to say that, but there probably will be a no Dune 2 or 3 or however many movies that they're planning on making. So which is another good reason why Discovery should not allow shit like this to happen in Warner Brothers. But yeah, those are our anticipated movies for 2021. Those are my takes. What do you guys think of the movies that are coming out in 2021? What are your favorite movies coming out and the rest of this year? Just jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you get all the updates of every time releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. Check us out on Patreon as well, patreon.com/momentum media, where you get a lot of exclusive content before it hits the interwebs. So Ian, where can we find you on YouTube and social media?
You can find me at I_controversy on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find me at youtube.com/thecontroversy. And yeah, I'm trying to do different type of content. And I still talk pop culture and music and movies and trending stuff, but I'm trying to also get into the reaction world, because I've hated it for years, and now it's time for me to go in the dark side and see why people watch these. And we've done a couple reaction videos lately, so check them out. I reacted to I reacted to fucking Free Willy knocking the hell out of a flipper. So check that one out.
By the way, watching the reaction video is funny, but also watching the separate video, it's like very it's jarring. How in the hell did that whale still stay in the air after hitting that dolphin?
Orca whales are bullies, bro. It's crazy.
I was like, what the hell is this? But Jeremy, where can we find you on YouTube and social media?
So Tig Notaro was originally supposed to not be in the film, but they added her.
Is Zack Snyder paying you to say all this stuff?
What do you mean?
Why would he pay him? He's trashing it.
I'm just really enthusiastic about Army of the Dead. Check out Movies Are Terrible on YouTube. Definitely got a bunch of content going up over there. I've been doing shorts lately, very small little 1 to 2 minute videos, and I'm enjoying them. I'm going to try to put out them, more often, maybe 2 a week, something like that. So head over and check those out.
Yeah, and there's some dope content on both of their channels. A lot of great stuff coming out for both of them as well.
But mine's the best.
Stay tuned.
Agreed.
I agree. Stay tuned for more. Real Debates will be coming out the end of the summer. So we go into production for that next month. So it's going to be fun. So stay tuned for that. So thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, you guys have a blessed day.